Black. On October 24, the spy action film Canary Black hit theaters, starring the ever-popular Kate Beckinsale, who once again takes on the role of a no-nonsense action hero. While Beckinsale remains confident and formidable in her portrayal of tough-as-nails secret agent Avery Graves, her strong presence alone isn't enough to elevate the film above its overall mediocrity. Unfortunately, despite Beckinsale's reliable performance, Canary Black suffers from an all-too-familiar and uninspired plot. The story begins with Graves on a high-stakes mission in Tokyo, which evokes strong memories of the cityscape from the opening of Resident Evil: Afterlife. Meanwhile, her husband David is back at home, busily preparing a special dinner to celebrate their anniversary, eagerly awaiting Avery's return. In a playful twist, Avery even brings back a cheeky souvenir for her doting husband, a pair of boxer shorts with the slogan, "Big in Japan." However, the lighthearted tone quickly shifts when Avery arrives home to the devastating news that David has been kidnapped by ruthless criminals. Their demand, the files for a top-secret project called Canary Black, forcing Avery into an impossible situation, choosing between her love for David and the security of her country. Director Pierre Morel, once known for action-packed films like District 13 and Taken, seems to have lost the creative spark that fueled his early successes. What unfolds in Canary Black is a disappointingly predictable and derivative spy thriller, complete with standard plot twists that can be seen from a mile away. Some of these twists border on the absurd, including the inexplicable incompetence of the spy agency and a miracle revelation that somehow shocks the protagonist without doing the same for the audience. A particularly laughable moment comes when Saffron Burrows' character steps in at the climax, though her intervention does little to change the film's course. The action sequences, usually a saving grace in movies of this genre, are equally underwhelming. There's a scene featuring a drone that tries to add some excitement, but it fails to shake the general monotony of the action on screen. The fight scenes feel routine and lack any real creativity, making the action itself as forgettable as the plot. At one point, the filmmakers try to heighten the tension by expanding the narrative from Avery's personal dilemma to a global crisis, but even this attempt falls flat. The film's central MacGuffin, a flash drive containing sensitive files, is nothing more than a recycled genre trope. While similar devices have been used in other spy movies like Mission Impossible, where they at least attempt to modernize the concept by tying it to cutting-edge technology like artificial intelligence, Canary Black doesn't even try to keep up with contemporary trends. Instead, the files sit on a flash drive, an idea that would have been stale even 25 years ago when action movies often revolved around CDRs or floppy disks. The inclusion of cyberterrorism, while relevant in theory, doesn't add anything fresh to the genre either, feeling more like a dated echo of films like Live Free or Die Hard. Despite the film's flaws, Kate Beckinsale delivers a solid performance as Avery Graves. She is still in excellent form, capable of stepping back into her trademark role as an action heroine without missing a beat. In the opening scene, she sports a wig reminiscent of Charlize Theron's Atomic Blonde, but as the movie progresses, she settles into her usual style, effortlessly dispatching the bad guys. It's clear that Beckinsale can still command the screen, but unfortunately, the film surrounding her fails to live up to her talents. On the other hand, Rupert, who plays a minor role, is almost entirely wasted, which is particularly disappointing given his past success as an action star in roles like Hitman, Agent 47. His presence in the film is so minimal that he barely registers. Ray Stevenson, who recently gave a compelling performance in Ahsoka, is similarly squandered. His character starts off with promise but is ultimately underdeveloped and discarded before he can make a significant impact. This is especially unfortunate, as it marks one of the final roles of the talented British actor before his untimely death. In conclusion, Canary Black is a mediocre spy action film that is stuffed with typical genre tropes and unremarkable action scenes. While there are occasional sparks of potential, they quickly fade, leaving the movie to blend into a sea of similar films that fail to stand out. It's reminiscent of Salt, the $110 million Angelina Jolie vehicle that shared certain plot elements with this movie but at least had more ambition. Canary Black, by contrast, feels smaller, less daring, and ultimately forgettable. Unless you're an avid fan of Kate Beckinsale's work, there's little reason to rush out and see this one. It's the kind of movie that, while not terrible, is so uninspired that it's easily forgotten once the credits roll.